Hello everyone. Today let's talk about the story of a Chinese deity, Zhuanxu. According to legend, Luozhu bore two children for the Huangdi, the elder son, Shuangqi, and the younger son, Changyi. After long observation, the Huangdi decided that Changyi's virtues and talents were insufficient to inherit the throne. Thus, he demoted Changyi to the rank of a feudal lord and appointed him to his fief in Ruoshui. Changyi arrived at his fief and married Nushu, the daughter of the Shushan clan. One night, Nushu dreamed of a long rainbow that stretched across the sun and moon, entering her abdomen. Shortly after, she became pregnant and gave birth to a child. When this child was born, he wore a helmet adorned with the characters for Sheng Day. This child would become the protagonist of today's story. Zhuanxu. Zhuanxu, from a young age, exhibited a deep and contemplative personality, with meticulous thoughts and exceptional strategic acumen. He possessed extraordinary strength and immortality, enabling him to traverse between the realms of the living and the dead. It is said that once he dies, he can be resurrected in the form of a giant fish known as Yu Fu. Though Zhuanxu possessed unparalleled divine power, he was not a good father. Many of his offspring appeared in the world as gods of disaster. Taowu became one of the four fierce beasts. Huando became one of the four great sinners who brought chaos to the world. Wang Liang, Nuegui, Xiaoergui, and Qiongui plagued humanity, and Qiongchan murdered his own brother in his quest for the throne. However, it must be acknowledged that Zhuanxu was a competent and great king. At the age of 15, he began assisting Xiao Hao in governing the Jiuli region. At that time, the Jiuli region was deeply entrenched in witchcraft, worshipping ghosts and spirits while neglecting human affairs. Everything was determined by divination, and in every household, there were shamans practicing divination. People no longer sincerely worshipped the heavens, nor focused on agricultural production. To address these issues, Zhuanxu decided to reform the religious practices. He personally conducted rituals with a sincere heart to worship the heavens and ancestors, setting an example for all people. He appointed Nan Zhengchong to be responsible for worshipping the heavens, ensuring harmony with the spirits. He also appointed Li to manage civil affairs, comforting the people and guiding them to follow natural laws in agricultural production, encouraging the cultivation of fields. Zhuanxu prohibited the practice of divination that connected humans and spirits among the people, thereby restoring normal social order. For his contributions to the governance of the Jiuli region, Zhuanxu was granted Gaoyang as his fief. Often he would walk among humans under the guise of an elderly man named Gaoyang. When passing through the southwest area of Neihuang, he learned of a yellow water monster that frequently spewed yellow water, flooding fields and destroying homes. Zhuanxu used his divine sword to slay the monster. He then used his divine power to raise a mountain and create a river, naming them Mount Fuyu and the Xiao River. From then on, the area flourished with mountains and rivers, lush forests, and abundant grain, and the people lived happily. The local people revered him as King Gao and built the Gao King Temple, where they conducted annual sacrifices in his honor. After the death of the Huangdi, Zhuanxu was unexpectedly designated as his successor, becoming the new ruler of the world at the young age of 20. This decision displeased many deities. Gonggong, the great-grandson of Yan Emperor, allied with other dissatisfied deities to form a coalition army and launch the Battle of Chanyuan to vie for control against Zhuanxu. Using his formidable strategy and skill, Zhuanxu allied with many powerful deities such as Taifeng, Jimeng, Jiao Chong, and Zhurong. He quickly dismantled Gonggong's coalition army and ultimately surrounded Gonggong at Mount Buzhou, decisively defeating his forces. After banishing Gonggong, Zhuanxu moved the capital from Cheongsang to Shangqiu and rigorously followed the policies of the Huangdi. He established 5 divine offices to assist in governing the world according to the 5 elements. Hotu, the daughter of Gonggong, as the central earth deity, Zhurong, the descendant of Yandi, as the southern fire deity, Gumong, the descendant of the Huangdi, as the eastern wood deity, Rusho, the descendant of the Huangdi, as the western metal deity, Yuqiang, the descendant of the Huangdi, as the northern water deity. With these appointments, Zhuanxu quickly brought stability and order to the human world. After achieving peace in the realm, Zhuanxu swiftly initiated extensive reforms with decisive and powerful measures. First, Zhuanxu established a unified calendar. He defined the length of the tropical year as 365 and 144 days, and the length of the synodic month as 29 and 950 days, with 7 intercalary months in a 19-year cycle. This calendar allowed the entire realm to use a standardized method for reckoning days. This calendar system continued to be used until the time of Emperor Wu of Han, when Gongsun Qing, Hu Sui, and Sima Qian were commissioned to refine it into the Tai Chu calendar, which has been used ever since. Next, Zhuanxu created the 9 provinces. Although the Central Plains were unified during the Huangdi's era, a prolonged antagonistic relationship with Qiu persisted. It was not until Zhuanxu's reign that true unification among various ethnic groups was achieved. Based on this foundation, Zhuanxu clearly planned the administrative divisions of the Central Plains, establishing the names and regions of the 9 provinces: Yan, Ji, Qing, Shu, Yu, Jing, Yang, Yong, and Liang. This system was maintained until the Qing dynasty. Lastly, Zhuanxu established ethical principles and social norms. According to legend, in ancient times, there was no distinction between men and women, and no order between the young and the old, leading to widespread disease and high mortality rates. Zhuanxu formulated ethical guidelines, advocating for marriage between men and women, which promoted population growth and productivity. This led to the creation of families, the differentiation of social classes, and the formation of the state. That's it for today's story. See you in the next one.